Well, well, well. What do we have here? Jim Jones, yes, that Jim Jones, the self-proclaimed Harlem Capo, Dipset royalty, and rap game veteran just got snatched by the feds in what might be the most explosive takedown since Martha Stewart's cooking show got replaced by court dates. And no, this isn't another clickbait rumor or a clout-chasing drill rapper faking charges for streams. This is real, raw, and ridiculously messy. Why was he arrested? What was caught on tape? And why did the FBI roll up like it was a scene out of Power Meets Narcos? Folks, we're talking black SUVs, hidden cameras, secret meetings, and a leaked video that's got social media spiraling harder than Chrissy. After watching it all unfold on TMZ. Could this be the end of Jim's legacy? Was it a setup, or was he really making backroom deals that would make Frank Lucas blush? Whatever it is, you're not ready. Grab your snacks, mute your group chat, and buckle up because what's about to unfold is the realest fake story you never knew you needed. Let's get into this scandal that's about to make hip-hop history. Again, let's rewind this entire mess because what just went down didn't happen overnight. This has been simmering under the surface for months, maybe years, and now it's finally exploded in a way nobody saw coming. Not even the ones who thought they were untouchable. Jim Jones, Harlem's so-called street general, the flashy rapper turned reality TV fixture, always knew how to play the game in public, but behind closed doors. That's where the real story begins. And what the world is now finding out is straight up jaw-dropping. The FBI didn't just roll up and slap cuffs on him for fun. This was a full-blown operation, with months of surveillance, sealed court orders, confidential informants, and audio recordings that are allegedly so damning, they don't just threaten Jim's freedom, they could unravel his entire image, his business empire, and even pull others down with him. According to leaks from inside federal circles, Jim has been under investigation for his connections to a secretive series of financial deals involving laundering money through fake LLCs, shady nightclub deals, and offshore accounts that trace back to locations far outside the U.S. What tipped them off? A mysterious figure from inside his own circle, someone who knew just enough to get the feds curious and just bitter enough to spill everything when the moment was right. And baby, did they spill? They say this informant walked into a federal office with receipts, emails, burner phone logs, even partial recordings of conversations that sounded less like business meetings and more like coded street transactions dressed up in designer suits. But that was just the start. The FBI didn't make a move right away. No, they watched, they waited, and they watched everything. Calls from his so-called investment advisors, conversations from private backroom dinners, even late-night face chats that were meant to stay between him and his inner circle. They got it all. And while Jim was flossing on social media, showing off iced-out chains, flashy cars, and champagne-drenched studio sessions, the walls were closing in around him without him even realizing it. Behind the scenes, a task force had compiled what they called the Vault and Evidence folder, so thick it needed its own encrypted drive. Inside, timestamps, video surveillance, screenshots of transactions that don't match the lifestyle he was promoting publicly, and a few grainy but crystal clear clips from hidden cameras planted inside two of his alleged safe zones. The trigger came last Friday night. Jim thought he was heading into a casual VIP gathering in a luxury suite at a hotel in Midtown. But instead of popping bottles, he found himself face-to-face with a wall of agents in suits and bulletproof vests. Witnesses say the hallway was swarming, and within seconds, he was face down, cuffed, and completely blindsided. He asked if it was a prank. It wasn't. Within hours, news outlets began scrambling for details, while Jim was quietly transported to a secure location for initial federal processing. No mugshot was released immediately, standard when the feds are playing chess instead of checkers. But insiders say his phone was confiscated, multiple residences were raided, and at least 3 associates went dark on social media the minute word got out. Here's where things get real murky, cause according to an unsealed part of the affidavit, there's reference to a high-profile female influencer who was allegedly in communication with Jim regarding one of the laundering setups. Now people are scrambling to connect dots, and suddenly every woman who's ever been publicly linked to Jim is under the microscope. But the feds aren't giving names. Not yet. One thing they did confirm though, there is audio. Audio that is, reportedly so clear, so incriminating, that one federal agent was quoted off the record saying, "We didn't need him to confess. He basically already did." The tapes allegedly reveal discussions about moving weight under the disguise of investment capital, along with conversations about using overseas accounts in the Caribbean and South America. to shift funds with minimal detection. What's worse, Jim wasn't talking in code. At one point, sources claim he flat out says, "As long as it looks legit on paper, they ain't looking any deeper." Oh, but they were. That's exactly what made this takedown so clean. No messy foot chase, no shootout, just airtight surveillance, digital footprints, and the kind of arrogance that makes someone think they're invincible. But the streets are talking now, and not in whispers. People are flipping, loyalty is cracking, and old alliances are turning into silent standoffs. The same crew that used to throw up hand signs in music videos are now throwing their hands up, in courtrooms trying to cut deals. The big question on everyone's mind. Who else was in on it? Because if the documents are as thorough as insiders claim, Jim wasn't operating solo. There are names, bank accounts, timestamps, GPS logs. There's mention of studio fronts that never actually recorded anything, and tour expenses that look more like money drops disguised as travel costs. The irony is chilling. While fans were streaming his music, quoting lyrics about staying real and dodging fake love, Jim was allegedly knee-deep in the kind of fake paperwork that makes Wall Street blush. And the worst part, someone very close to him knew it all, and kept receipts. Who that is, we still don't know for sure, but whispers are pointing toward a former Flame, who knew the ins and outs of his operations better than anyone else. If that's true, then not only did Jim get played, he got played at his own game. And the next move. It's already happening. Feds have started issuing subpoenas. Celebs who were once seen partying with him are now scrubbing posts and pretending they were never there. Meanwhile, Jim sits in silence, reportedly denied bond as the court prepares to review digital evidence, so detailed it paints a minute-by-minute picture of his activities across several states and international borders. Jim Jones thought he was untouchable, flashing diamonds, luxury jets, mysterious late-night meetings with men in suits that didn't belong on the block. He had everyone fooled. But what he didn't know was that the walls were closing in. The same streets that once praised his rise were now whispering about his downfall. And it wasn't just whispers anymore. The feds weren't playing. According to leaked reports that sent social media into meltdown, Jones wasn't just rapping about the hustle, he was living a double life so scandalous it would make even the most seasoned kingpin sweat. A sting operation so intricate, it involved fake corporations, dummy charities, and offshore accounts traced to shell companies in the Cayman Islands. FBI insiders say they had been watching him for over a year, recording hours of surveillance, wiretapping calls, and even bugging his Maybach. Imagine thinking you're safe while your car is literally snitching on you. The nerve. It started unraveling the moment an informant known only as Red Velvet flipped and handed over a flash drive containing footage that would make a Netflix docuseries jealous. In one clip, Jim is seen handing over a duffel bag rumored to contain over $500,000 in unmarked bills while casually saying, "You know how we clean it up?" That phrase alone set off a firestorm in the bureau. And what's wild is, this wasn't just about money. It's bigger than that. We're talking arms deals, fake record label contracts, used to funnel dirty cash, and yes, luxury properties purchased in the names of exotic animals. Don't believe it? One penthouse in Miami was literally registered to Sir Whiskers Jones, a Persian cat. You can't make this up. Well, you can, but this mess is too juicy to ignore. And the people? Oh, they ate it up. Twitter erupted into chaos. Fans were shocked, but haters were living for it. Memes dropped faster than court subpoenas. One read, Jim Jones really went from Ballon to call in his lawyer. Another showed his mugshot next to Tony Montana with the caption from Rap to Trap, the deluxe edition. But while the internet laughed, the consequences were deadly serious. Anonymous sources close to the investigation claim that one of the key wiretap recordings captured a meeting in Dubai, where Jones allegedly discussed moving merchandise via a network of yachts disguised as party boats. This wasn't just street hustle, it was international, sophisticated, and dirty to the bone. And let's not even get started on the alleged involvement of retired DEA agents who were reportedly on his payroll, slipping intel and covering tracks for 6 figures a month. One former agent, now in custody, broke down during interrogation and admitted Jim's operation was cleaner than most governments. And that's terrifying. Because while the world thought Jones was just another flashy rapper clinging to old fame, he was actually operating like a CEO of chaos. And it gets worse. In what may be the biggest betrayal of all, whispers are emerging that someone from within his own inner circle Someone with the initials CJMIT have tipped off the authorities after being cut out of a shady NF project that went sideways. The betrayal is deep, and it's hitting harder than any diss track. Meanwhile, court documents reveal that the feds had planted an undercover agent posing as a videographer, documenting Jones' comeback documentary, but in reality, every interview, every behind-the-scenes moment, every raw studio session was being recorded for evidence. Imagine smiling at the camera while simultaneously building your own case file. And now, as authorities comb through over 9 terabytes of footage, fans are left wondering what was real and what was a performance. The layers of deception run so deep, even Jones' manager was reportedly caught off guard. "I thought it was just street flexing," he allegedly told investigators. "I didn't know he was running a whole empire." But empire or not, the foundation is crumbling. Because what's surfacing now isn't just criminal, it's cinematic. According to one explosive leak, there's a 42-minute audio recording, where Jones allegedly details how to clean money using a fake wellness brand. The code word, Alkaline Dream. Yep, a line of water bottles supposedly infused with Himalayan crystal dust turned out to be the cover for a money laundering ring. And the most sickening twist: celebrities unknowingly promoted it on their IGs, thinking they were just selling overpriced hydration. The manipulation was next level. This wasn't just hustle, it was deception dressed in designer. But if you thought that was wild, hold on, because the real panic started when Jones' passport activity was released. Trips to obscure countries, with lax banking laws, random appearances at high-end watch conventions, and get this, he even applied for dual citizenship under a fake identity in a Balkan microstate known for protecting its billionaires. But the joke's over. Because while Jones was busy living his villain era, the FBI was crafting their own plot twist. One agent was quoted saying, "We gave him rope, and he built a kingdom, then we yanked it, and now, the entire empire is collapsing like a house of cards on a windy rooftop." And all of this chaos? It's just scratching the surface. And just when everyone thought the storm had calmed, a fresh wave of chaos erupted that flipped the entire narrative on its head. A new leaked recording surfaced, and this time, it wasn't Erica. It wasn't some anonymous source, it was Mendices himself. His voice, unmistakable, was caught in a private phone conversation where he admitted to a close friend that the court outburst and most of the drama was orchestrated. He confessed it was a setup meant to shift public sympathy and discredit Erica in the media. He went on to explain that everything was carefully timed, the leaked messages, the explosive testimony, and even the DNA test controversy, all tailored to frame Erica as unstable and manipulative. The internet went into meltdown. People who had been defending Mendices and dragging Erica now felt duped. They flooded social media with reactions, screenshots of old interviews, and side-by-side timelines to expose the manipulation. Suddenly, Mendices wasn't the misunderstood victim anymore. He was the mastermind. And if that wasn't enough, users started dragging Yandi into the conversation too. Viewers started asking how much she knew, how deep she was in the plan, and whether she was protecting her brand image while standing by Mendices in silence. Critics pointed out that Yandi had never once publicly defended Erica or tried to mediate things privately, even though she'd known both parties for years. The silence now looked calculated. As the pressure mounted, another twist exploded onto the scene. A former production assistant from the show came forward anonymously and revealed that during filming breaks, conversations were often recorded accidentally, and that producers had access to way more than what aired. According to this source, there were audio clips of Mendices joking about Erica still being obsessed and how she could be used to stir things up when ratings got low. The phrase ratings bait trended for hours. Fans of the show, and even ex-cast members, started posting cryptic messages that only fueled the fire. Kimbella tweeted, "Told y'all, this industry is wicked," while Tahiri posted, "Truth always leaks." Eventually, meanwhile, Erica had gone completely silent. No posts, no comments, nothing. And that silence said more than 1,000 tweets ever could. Speculation exploded that she was planning something major, a lawsuit, an exclusive interview, maybe even a documentary. People even began revisiting her older interviews, dissecting every word for clues about her past with Mendices. What they found shocked many. Subtle hints, lingering looks, moments where she stopped herself mid-sentence. Signs that maybe she'd been trying to speak her truth all along, but no one listened. While the internet investigated every angle, a huge press outlet dropped a breaking news story that Erica's legal team had officially filed a motion to subpoena Additional footage from the show's unaired archives. That meant she was coming for the receipts. If producers had hidden content that could clear her name, or expose manipulation, she wanted it public. This wasn't just about drama anymore, it was a full-blown legal battle. And if Erika won, it would set a precedent for every reality star who had ever been edited into a villain for the sake of ratings. As expected, Mona Scott remained silent. No statement. No response. Nothing. But insiders claimed emergency meetings were happening behind the scenes, with legal advisors scrambling to prepare for potential fallout. Meanwhile, Mendices tried to backpedal. In a short-lived session, he claimed the leaked phone call was edited and taken out of context. But the damage was already done. Too many people had heard it. The tone, the words, the arrogance, it was impossible to walk it back. And Yendi, she posted a vague quote about truth being layered and everyone having their own reality, which only made things worse. Fans flooded her comment section demanding real answers, and for the first time, her brand started to take a hit. Sponsors began quietly distancing themselves, with one beauty brand pulling down a recent ad they'd done together. The ripple effect was real. Behind the scenes, ex-cast members were reportedly being contacted for interviews, and some were already negotiating deals to speak out. A former friend of Erika's hinted that this wasn't even the juiciest part of the story. She claimed there were emails and voice notes that had never been shared, and once they came out, people would truly understand how deep the manipulation went. At this point, public opinion had done a complete 180. Erika was no longer the loud, dramatic woman who caused chaos. She was the scapegoat, the sacrificial lamb fed to the media machine to keep other people's images clean. And now, with the legal case underway and pressure on networks rising, people were demanding accountability. What started as a scandalous court moment had become a cultural reckoning, raising real questions about how far reality TV can go in twisting lives for entertainment. And at the heart of it all stood Erika, silent but powerful, the woman everyone once mocked, now leading the charge for truth in an industry built on illusion. If you made it this far, then you already know this story is bigger than just drama, secrets, and betrayal. It's a real look into the hidden chaos behind the glitz and glam, and trust me, more truth is still unraveling. So if you want the real tea, not the sugar-coated headlines, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications, because what's coming next is going to shake things up even more. We've got exclusive updates, inside sources, and receipts that the mainstream won't dare to show. And don't just watch, drop your thoughts in the comments. Who do you believe? Who's lying? And who's finally telling the truth? We want to hear from you. This isn't just a story, it's a storm, and you're now part of it. So stay locked in with us because the next episode is going to be even more explosive. Subscribe, like, comment, and share this video with someone who needs to know what's really going on. The truth doesn't hide forever, and we're here to expose it all.